Okay. So, however, we clearly see that nonprofits persistently face the challenge of resource scarcity, including funds, staff, and youth and temporal resources. A piece of evidence, nonprofit finance fund survey, it reveals that the majority of nonprofits reported that it was hard to achieve long-term financial sustainability and raise funds that fully cover costs. Also, more than half nonprofits conveyed the difficulties in employing enough staff and offering competitive pay. So, how can nonprofits find and obtain resources in light of their challenging circumstances? We had two surveys. An in-person event hosted in Howard County, Maryland.
So, I'm sorry, the previous thing unshared the screen. I'm sorry.
So we had two surveys, one in-person events hosted in Howard County, Maryland, talking with and serving directors and staffs from 22 different nonprofits, and another WPI projects investigating interorganizational resource sharing. So the two studies shed light on the possibility for nonprofits to exchange resources, possibly in a sustainable and frequent manner. We observed that actually each nonprofit has its own light and heavy workload periods and faces the temporally shifting service demand. In that sense, their needs for resources frequently change, and at times, nonprofits underutilize their resources. Furthermore, we found that actually one's temporal needs can be somehow fulfilled or met by another's available help. For example, in this real world example, so the volunteers, nonprofit two needs and nonprofit one has. However, with limited mechanisms and tools, how do nonprofits borrow and lend resources? Probably some conventional, right? For example, ask a partner nonprofit when they meet with each other, or directly ask for help via phone call. Any better way to access and obtain resources? Here is our solution, SWAP. So SWAP consists of 4 components. I will cover all of them. The first one, auction-based exchange process. 2 important concepts. A group of nonprofits firstly for cohorts, and then in our cohorts, exchange process that we call swap episodes includes 4 rounds. So that balance, offer round, bid round, and match round. Episodes are conducted sequentially based on each cohort's practical demands. And about setting balance, we introduce our virtual currency, SWAPcredits. And one possible allocation option is that each nonprofit receives an equal amount of credits at the beginning. Receive an equal amount of credits at balance at the beginning of each episode. It promotes fairness by ensuring all the participants start at the same place. And then imagine I'm a nonprofit role, so I can log into my SWAP accounts, and in the offer rounds, I can post my available resources. And for each offer, I need to give a ask value. And then in the bid rounds, I'm able to broader and access all the resources from other nonprofits. And I can place it based on my nonprofit needs. And it's the first price build minor bidding. So which means no one can see others bid. Finally, a matching process quickly find the optimal exchange results. And now I log in to my account. I can see, okay, at this time, what resources I'm giving and receiving. So I can coordinate with those nonprofits to execute the exchange. Let's take a look at the performance comparison between the conventional sharing and swap. So here, conventional sharing means we let a group of nonprofits, they talk with each other in person and negotiate to get some deals. And we have two parallel groups, group A and group B. And before the activities, we ask the nonprofits about their utilities to those resources. And for each yellow circle represents a unique nonprofits. Let's first focus on the directions of both parts. We can see the exchange of conventional sharing are limited to bilateral in both groups. While we observe that nonprofits in the group B communicated in a multilateral ways. In contrast, SWAP is capable of unified and multilateral exchange. And on the other hand, let's see the colors of those parts. So the only blue color represents the maximum utility. So the conventional sharing is only able to achieve some physical and suboptimal exchange, while SWAP is able to achieve some of the outcomes that can globally maximize the overall exchange efficiency. So how are SWAP exchange facilitated? Through the mathematical optimization notations that N be a set of nonprofits indexed by IJ and RI be a group of resources offered by nonprofit I. So CI gets the balance of nonprofit I and RIK, the ask value nonprofit I set for the resource K, and the BIKJ, so bid value nonprofit J proposed for the resource K of nonprofit I. Binary variables XIKJ. So one if nonprofit J successfully received the resource K of nonprofit I, 0 otherwise. The objective function, as we mentioned before, we want to maximize the overall exchange efficiency. So which means the differential between the bid and ask values of exchange resources. And for the first set of constraints, every offer is only allowed to be exchanged at most once. And for the second set of constraints, honoring credit inflows and outflows, which means, okay, for each nonprofit, its current expenses should be smaller than or equal to its current balance and the earnings. It incentivizes the offering, and the CJ here serves a critical role of ensuring the possibility of exchange. Finally, the variable. So through experiments with simulated data, we investigate how various offering and bidding behaviors affect the SWAP markets. Applying the discrete possibility distributions, we vary number of resources offered per nonprofits from our conservative cautious level to more generous level, and also explore a number of bids per nonprofit from low to high. And here, the left figure shows the distributions of total number of exchanges, and the right figure displays the distributions of number of successful bids or the received resources per nonprofits across all the 3 levels of number of offers. As the variables do not meet the assumption of IID, so non-parametric tests are used to compare distributions medians rather than means. It's clear that greater engagement of offering resources can promote more exchange for individual nonprofits and collectively. So we need to improve nonprofit awareness of available resources. In practice, we apply asset mapping from community science as a tool to incentivize nonprofits to think about their possible available resources from different categories. To evaluate the effects of nonprofits placing different level of bids from left to right, the market is from a low bid volume to high bid volume. So a large number or large percent of resources are needed by more nonprofits, which means 2 or more nonprofits want the same resource. So one solution is to advise nonprofits to provide multiple time-based offers, promoting more choices to nonprofits who want the same resource, thereby helping moderate the market competition. The fourth component, human-centric co-design. So it actually emphasizes the design process, which should involve both designers and stakeholders and integrate ethical and technical dimensions. We have a committee consisting of professionals specializing on diverse domains to make sure technological interventions align with the values of the community. We have collective agreements, legal documents, which clearly define the rights and obligations of each participating nonprofit. We provide multiple channels to ensure individual nonprofits' voices are heard fully all the time. So finally, I want to highlight that 2 SWAPcredits have completed and 1 SWAPcredit is ongoing right now in our Howard County cohort. And we are pleased to see that more nonprofits show their interest in joining SWAP. And currently, we are working on the SWAPcredit distribution mechanisms in another market setting, as well as the individual level fairness. Yes. So here is the core members in our SWAP team. And I want to thank you all the professors, colleagues, and the partners. And we are grateful for the support of NSF. Thank you. Next time, so I want to show off our very cool SWAP t-shirt. So big like QR codes at the back. So like our working QR code, so you can help scanning it, right? And this is our most recent event with nonprofits. Yes, that's it. Thank you.